Hangzhou Asia Game this year, we have this great tournament to do more video content to help people have different angles to experience this kind of sports events.
Yeah. And Mr. Lee?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Careford is especially in sports licensing industry, so we are doing a lot of merchandising program for many sports tournaments, like FIFA World Cup clubs. This time for Asia Games, we are also licensed manufacturer and retailer. Thank you.
Yeah, and what about you, Mr. Luo? Could you briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, this is Luoran Feng from Sports Money. Sports Money is a media platform provide both latest and in-depth stories about both of the China mainland sports industry and the global sports industry.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. So first of all, let's take a look at the broad picture from the latest data. So this year's Hangzhou Asian Games has generated about $700 million in income for the city Hangzhou and also companies operating in the city. And 1/7 of them actually comes from the merchandise sales. So Mr. Lee, I want to start with you first. How do you feel now? Because your company is one of the authorized official merchandisers for the Asian Games, right? Is your sales within your expectations?
The news conference also announced the total retail revenue of the merchandise. So there are totally 64 licensed manufacturers for this Asia Game, all the merchandise, and Careford is one of them. So from the ratio of the number and our sales, our sales turnover contribution is far more than one of the 64. So I can say we are quite satisfied with the performance of our team. But the more proud of me is not only the sales revenue, but also the hot topics and discussions about our products. So we have developed about more than 300 SKUs, including 200 SKU of and also other products like plush mascot figurines, magnets, keychains, bookmarks, etc. Besides those popular pins from sponsors, are also many of them are designed and manufactured by Careford on the OEM basis. So you know already the popularity of the pin exchanging. So I think this is more satisfied me. And also during the tournament, one of our products, which is mascot figurines, co-branded with China Lunar Exploration Project, was also quite popular. And many of the athletes, even some gold medalists, they bought this item and took photos. So yeah, I think this is more important because we always think to tell the story, to help the promotion the event itself is more important than the revenue itself. Yeah, this is we generally quite satisfied. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also one of my most impressive things for this year's Asian Game is the category. It's the category of the merchandise. There were a total of 17 major categories and over 1,000 licensed products. So, Daniel, I want to know your thoughts on why the sports events mascots always goes viral, like from last year's Beijing Winter Olympics Bingdun to this year's Chengdu Feixu Games Rongbao. And this time the memories of Jiangnan. So why they always got so much attention?
Yeah, good questions. Firstly, thank you for you're sharing the statistics. Let me know how this market will be crazy during the game. So I think for your questions, I think there are two main reasons. The first one, I think we need to give great credit to the organizing committee of Asia Games and also for the Winter Olympic last year as well, because they design, they product, great, merchandise, and it's functionable, it's memorable, and most importantly, it's adorable.
Yeah.
So,
It's
so
definitely.
So I quite like it. I feel quite happy when Mr. Lee, sent me the gift for the whole, souvenir of the Asia Games. I would give a box and took the picture and send it on the WeChat and say, see, I got this one. And that's
different versions.
Yeah. So from the design, it's a highly commercialized way that that's the reason why we can make money when you are holding a tournament, a sports tournament, because we invest a lot in for providing this kind of amazing experience for everyone, for the athletes, for the fans, for all the people. And secondly, I would like to highlight is I think this phenomenon belongs to the culture. The people like me, like my parents, my friends, they would like to purchase some kind of this merchandise to show, to express they are involving, they are supporting the sports events in our country, and we are quite welcome for everyone who would like to participate into these sports events. So that's the reason why you say the merchandise goes viral. And then, but personally, I need to highlight one thing is I think that we're selling the merchandise on the Tmall flagship online store. That's a great way. It's a great combination between the sport economic and also the e-commerce. And then we find innovative way to sell more merchandise to more people with more effective way, like I said. So I think it's a great case study for further when the world, it's not only about China, the world would like to to hold this kind of a sports tournament, and they would like to sell more merchandise, licensing products. That's the way that they need to learn.
Yes, you mentioned about the effective way. One very interesting phenomenon that I noticed that many people are exchanging those different types of pins, right? Yeah, that's also a very good way to promote them. So Patrick, how do you understand such a phenomenon? Is that to help them better promote their products? What factors have caused them that they can form this trend of exchanging different types of pins?
I think it's actually a very good demonstration for we call it enthusiasm for this kind of a fantastic event, right? If we're looking at a broader view here, for this Hangzhou Asian Games, we are talking about 45 members of the Olympic Committee coming in, more than 12,000 athletes coming in. Both numbers are record high. Right. And it's right after the epidemic situation, right? We all know it's very difficult, very challenging, and I believe the organizing committee faced a lot of challenges, right, during the preparation process. But in the end, with all the kind of support from professional institutions, all those efforts from everyone, and in the end, it's overall a very sort of a perfect event here, and I think it's another good demonstration to tell the world that such kind of a large-scale sports event are actually back on track in China. So this is very important.
Yes, true. And Mr. Lee, I bet that you must have more to add because your company, K-Ford, is also an expert on sports IPs, right? You were operating many projects with the professional clubs and also those sports events. So through your observation, what kinds of sports IPs are generally more welcomed? And how did they just go viral?
Okay, so we are talking about the mascot, because the mascot is the core identity for sports events, especially tournaments and multi-sports games like Olympic Games and Asia Games. The mascot also have entertainment value, emotional, connection with the fans. So I think internally, the the organizers of the sports events, they use the mascot to promote the event itself. Then externally, I mean the fans follow us because they like, just as the guest saying, because it's easy to be show to be for social purpose, so it's getting more and more popular. I will give you an example, which is 10 years ago. We firstly operated the project of FIFA World Cup Brazil. So 10 years ago, the atmosphere and the consumer habits is not so as popular as now for mascot or for sports merchandise. So we tried to manufacture 200 pieces of 2-meter high mascot, and then we put it to like shopping malls, sports bars of the country of China. So we encourage people to go there to take photos with the mascot, and if they post the picture on WeChat moments, so if they send us back these screenshots, they have the rights to participate our lucky draw. The bonus including like FIFA World Cup tickets, mascot, or some other FIFA World Cup merchandising. So this was very good. So we already used this how to say, the character from the mascot itself. And nowadays, the social media is developing, especially the short video like Douyin and Xiaohongshu. So combined with the social media and also the mascot itself, so it's getting more and more popular and viral now. I think this is a very good thing that will help the industry to be developed and moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very good example. Like different types of activities are really boosting the popularity of these different types of mascots. And also I heard that your team is actually in Hangzhou, right? They will spend 2 to 3 months to design all these different types of mascots and also those pins. What's the story behind? Could you share with us?
Oh, okay. So actually we started this from 2019, so 4 years ago. So okay, so when we got agreement with the Asian Games. So of course, I think we must firstly we must to think how to make the designs and tell the stories about Hangzhou and about China through the merchandise. So for example, for the pin, okay, first for mascot is mascot. So there's not so big space to express your ideas, your designs, but the pin is a very good platform to express many kind of like themes, So our team, somebody they are local Hangzhou people, somebody they are new Hangzhou, they just came to Hangzhou and stay and work in Hangzhou. So we discuss together, and also we look around the West Lake, the city, also visited some museums. So we developed different teams. First, of course, it must be related with the sports itself, the Asian Games. So we develop a lot of pins about the games. Maybe you also know something are very popular, but we also developed some other teams like related with Hangzhou culture, like the Hangzhou famous places. And also some team about the Hangzhou history. For example, the song collections. Our designers, they picked 5 ancient sports games in Song Dynasty, which is this pin is very popular now. And maybe you also know the Chuju, which is similar to today's soccer, and the sumo, another sports now popular in Japan, and the polo, pitching the pot, and hammer throwing. Because Asian game is a sports event, so this is why our team picked the 5 ancient sports as a symbol of Song Dynasty. So we developed more than about more than 10 themes. So this is give the pin collectors more space to exchange, because somebody will prefer to this team, somebody will maybe prefer to culture. So I think, yeah, quite proud of the performance of our design team. Yeah.
True. And when you talked about the pins, our
Yeah,
Haixiang just brought them back in here in Beijing.
I just brought this series of pins from Mr. Lee's office several days ago.
We can take a good look at
Yeah, we can take a closer look. It's the most popular
wow.
sports
So
in the Song Dynasty. We can say the Cuju or hammer throwing. Yeah, like what Patrick? What's your got?
相扑.
It's sumo. Yes,
Yeah.
sumo and
I got polo.
polo. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very popular among the merchandise.
Yes, true.
So when we talk back to the industry, Mr. Luo, I want to throw this question to you. So when we look back a year ago, so the number of contracted partner companies for the game was 145. But before the opening ceremony, this number jumped to 176. So over 30 companies joined this ecosystem. So what's the single has this sent in terms of the Chinese sports market, Mr. Luo?
I guess it is fair to say there is a big bounce back of Chinese sports market, and it clearly encouraged companies to make a move in the Asian Games. Since the sports event held in China once again allowed the full capacity of spectators, you can clearly witness how sports fans rush into the stadium. So the booming atmosphere is phenomenal, so that all the companies are willing to look for sports marketing opportunities. And as we all understand, the Hangzhou Asian Games is one of the biggest events of the year 2023. So while the chances to become an Asian Games partner was still open, there were a number of companies finally kick off their Asian Games campaign this year. Finally kick off their Asian Games campaign at the last moment.
Yeah, so another interesting thing is during the sponsors list, I think over 2/3 are from
Hangzhou, right?
from Zhejiang local companies. So how about your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah. Do they have a preference for companies come from Hangzhou, or is it just because they are in the Delta River, because it's a very promising economic area in China? How do you guys understand?
I think again there are two numbers here, right? 176 sponsors, and I think the total sponsoring income is more than like 4.3 billion RMB. Again, both numbers are the record high in the history of Asian Games.
Yes.
As you said, quite a lot of enterprise coming from the local Zhejiang provinces. I think one of the reasons is that those enterprise they saw the benefits of sponsoring Asian game, this kind of game, because it's not only presenting their image of their brand, but also actually it's a way to kind of incentive to motivate the enterprise to raise the quality of their product and services, and also it's kind of a benchmarking with the international standard and international players as well. Yeah. And so it kind of motivates them to improve, enhance their technology and all their own sort of development. So that is why I think sponsoring in this kind of a large-scale sports event, there's a lot of benefit in there. I think that is why more and more companies are coming into here. And again, for local enterprise, this is a way to kind of accelerate their path for their internationalization of their own business.
Yes.
Yeah.
To show all these Chinese brands to the international market.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
how do you see it, Indian?
Yeah, of course. I think two-thirds come from the local enterprise. That's maybe the very reasonable percentage when you compare with the Tokyo Olympic and the Rio Olympic as well.
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, they got 4 tiers from the official partners
Yeah.
to sponsors to suppliers,
Yeah.
some kind of. So two-thirds is quite reasonable because we got our local company, auto enterprise. They support maybe the VIK, the goods, maybe technology, maybe platform, maybe the food or something like that to support to operating the Asia Games. So it's quite good. But I remember that you said there's how many that comes only 1 year before that?
Yeah,
they-
Over
30
30.
more.
Over
30
30.
more.
Oh, so
come
30
within 1
more.
year.
Yeah, just personally speaking, I think it is a positive signal for this enterprise still want to involve into Asia Game, even it's only have 1 year left.
Yes.
But from the people, a guide who walk into this area, I strongly recommend that if they have the intention to support sports events as early as possible.
As soon as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah.
Early as
1 year?
possible. How early or how soon?
Yeah, but
do you
1 year
think?
is a little bit tight. If you want to make a whole strategy comply with your the whole marketing strategy and maybe your enterprise development strategy, then how to amplify the connection with the sports games events, probably maybe 2 years or 3 years in advance. That will be more reasonable.
Yeah,
And then
what do they have to get prepared for? Like,
they need
to
to how
join
to
the event.
because of this thing. You sponsor sports events. That's the first step.
Yeah.
The most important thing is you need to know how to activate, how to activate this asset. So maybe you have a different kind of marketing approach, promotions, and then maybe you maybe find another ambassador or something like that.
Oh, yes.
So it takes time.
Yes,
It takes
true.
time. Yeah.
True. And when you said like a reasonable data, like the 2/3, so for other two sports events that you mentioned, what's the general data for like the rate of companies from the local compared with the total companies?
We did a research about the Olympics because that's maybe the top, so we can analyze in a very reasonable way. So nearly like maybe for Olympic half is global. It's global, maybe the top 500 enterprise brand to support Olympic because Olympic got the very system and very complicated. They got the top the TOP partners and they got the official partner local only for these games as well. So it's half from the global one and then maybe half from the local and then maybe the domestic enterprise. So for the Asia game, definitely it's not the reputation and impact is right now cannot compete with Olympic because it's a continental sports event. So I think 2/3 from the local is quite reasonable.
Okay. And Mr. B, because we know PWC is also one of the official financial suppliers for the event. So from a professional point, how do you see the scale of the sponsorships for this year's event? And generally, what do official financial suppliers do for the Asian Games? Yeah, we are just very curious.
Right, yeah, thank you for that question, actually. Yeah, well, actually, globally, PFC has been the financial advisor to the most recent 7 Olympics and 4 World Cups.
Yeah.
In China, we not only for these Asian Games, actually we start our work like 20 years ago. We are the financial advisor to the 2008 Beijing Olympics, as well as the 2022 Winter Olympics and also the Youth Olympics, Special Olympics, as well as the University in Shenzhen 2011, in Chengdu 2021. So basically, in the past 2 decades, we are actually PWC at forefront of this China's sport industry development and participated and witnessed a lot of milestone in the development of the industry. And particularly for this Hangzhou Asian Games, we start at a very early stage of the preparation process of this game because we start with supporting the committee, organizing committee to carry out comprehensive financial management and identify risks, problems in the preparation process as well. Basically, what we cover, including like the policy planning, the budget management, internal controls, marketing as well, and accounting and financial close. So basically, you can say we cover the entire life cycle of this event. And the goal for our work is really to help the organizing committee to present this wonderful event on the basis of financial health.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why we are involved in this kind of micro-size sports events.
Yeah. In terms of the scale of the sponsorship, is that within as a financial supplier, is that within your expectations, the number?
I think yes and no, because everyone expecting after this epidemic era, right? Everyone expecting a strong bounce back,
yes,
right? But how strong it is, it's difficult
no one knows.
especially with a delay, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard. Actually, in the preparation process, it's very hard because we help the organizing committee to analyze, study the international event during the epidemic, and also try to combine with our local, special conditions, and come up with different sort of a financial plan in response to different scenarios, right? Just to make sure to have reliable support to the success of the event. So I would say everyone expecting a bounce back, but not everyone expect it can reach to a record high numbers for the scale of sponsors and as well as the number of the sponsoring income. So I think it's very successful in the end.
When you mentioned about it's really difficult, could you give us an example, like how to generally measure?
I think in a simple ways, because if you have a such big international event scheduled in 2022, but in the end happen in 2023. I think that's actually the delay can be the biggest challenges. Really, because everything needs to change. Everyone's schedule needs to change. And for an event like this, you actually attract the investment of the whole society to invest into it. So it's very complex sort of ecosystem, we should say.
And like you mentioned, every sector, different sectors are really rebounding after during the post-pandemic era. If you guys have noticed that, like during the Golden Week holiday that just passed, many friends are booking air tickets to Hangzhou, right? If you look at the data from tourism platform Ctrip, it shows that the Asian Games has helped the city to attract much more visitors than the year before, and about 8 times than the general hotel bookings, and then about 5 times for the air ticket bookings compared to last year. So and the tourism sector is just one example. And for the sports sector that you guys are more familiar with, if you see the data, the orders for fitness and sports also rose about 8 times compared to last year. So in terms of what the Asian Games, what the influence of such as huge sports events to a city's economy, how do you guys see? How is it benefiting maybe like in some areas?
So we can start from
It's a very big question, so I need to think about it.
Maybe from the sports sector too.
Yeah, because every time we did research about sports event, we assess this kind of event, we normally divide into 3 aspects: city impact, social impact, and economic impact. So we think about right now the Hangzhou Asia Games. I need to highlight because Patrick already mentioned this the number and some kind of financial information about that. And I need to highlight the city impact, and it's could be beneficial for the local citizen and for the city. Why? Because we got this kind of a very high technology of art technology stadium, and not only stadium, pitches, courts, and there's many we can say the area, the zoom to do the physical exercise. So it's good. It's good for watching for participating sports for the local citizens. So we always talk about in China we do not have enough space to do the physical exercise for children to do the physical education. But after you holding Asia Games, you should have this kind of facility, also the infrastructure for this kind of sports development.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. It's good for the city. So after that, Hangzhou will have maybe a new tag about, or new business card about it is cities about sports, about sportive spirit, about passion. So that's the things I need to mention first. And then also, I think that another thing is about the social impact. It's, more and more local citizens, they would like to attend, to watch, to enjoy the games, even though they have not very good understanding about these sports, but they still have the intention to attend, to feel the sports, to have the first feeling about you sitting on a stadium. So that's important. So we always say that sports need to be a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But how to do it? What is the beginning to change the sports into a lifestyle? I think to attend to the Asia Games is just beginning. Is that people can understand what is the sports, what's the value of sports. So after that, the parents will encourage the children to do more sports exercise. And then people like me would like to watch, would like to participate into sports more frequently. So I think that's the real legacy for holding a sports event.
So just as Dian mentioned, I just visited two typical sports facilities in Hangzhou. So first of all, I want you guys to show a video I just filmed in Hangzhou. So let's take the video first.
With the opportunity provided by the Hangzhou Asian Games, the city has launched a 3-year action plan for the construction of embedded sports facilities. The goal is to utilize the unused spaces and extend the reach of sports facilities to a larger number of residents.
Previously, this area was an old factory and cafeteria. At the time when Hangzhou was vigorously promoting embedded sports facilities, we took the initiative to start a transformation here. We have installed an intelligent capture system throughout the venue, equipped with 49 high-definition capture cameras, as well as a powerful back-end processing system. The entire venue exudes a futuristic and high-tech atmosphere.
So here, unlike traditional basketball courts, you can record all your highlights without any cameraman, without any editors, just through a WeChat mini program. Scan a QR code, upload your selfie, start recording, and make the shot.
No more steps, your score moments will be generated automatically. This is also what attracts people to come here and play.
It can capture my spectacular score from multiple angles, and highlights are generated automatically. For basketball enthusiasts, it's a great way to document. That's why I love playing here.
And the Hangzhou Basketball Park, the largest underpass basketball park in the country, was previously an abandoned construction site under an overpass. In preparation for the Asian Games, it was rapidly transformed into a 20,000 square meter sports facility within 2 months. Now it serves over 100,000 households in surrounding districts.
The supporting facilities here are very comprehensive, with 150 parking spaces and a lounge for citizens to rest and recharge. There are also courts that can be used for both basketball and tennis. With the help of the lights on the overpass, many people also come to exercise in the evening.
This court is located on an overpass, so around 3 o'clock, there's no direct sunlight here. The visibility is also quite good.
This place is both shady and sheltered. It is freely accessible to the public, which is very beneficial. The visibility here is also very good, and there's a pleasant breeze under the overpass, making it very comfortable.
So in 2022, Hangzhou collectively constructed over 2,000 embedded sports facilities. And this year, there are plans to add over 1,000 more, bringing sports facilities right to the doorsteps of citizens. 张海翔 CGTN 杭州浙江 Province. The Hangzhou city has a 3-year plan to build such, they call it the embedded sports facilities, like on the rooftop, under an overpass, rebuild an old factory. So besides the public facilities like this, or the professional manuals, which will be open to the citizens after the closing ceremony. So what other heritage can the Asian Games, the big sports events can leave to the city, to the people? So can we start from Mr. Luo first?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would like to express from the view of 13 years ago when we go back to the Asian Games, which was held in Guangzhou. The Haixinsha, the venue of the 2010 Asian Games opening and ending ceremony, now becomes one of the most spectacular places of interest in the Zhujiang New Town area, which is located by the bank of the very beautiful Zhujiang River. So the Guangzhou Asian Games was like a magnet, attracting a series of development projects by the Zhujiang River, including new museum, library, theater, large-scale square, and 2 iconic skyscrapers. And plus the 600-meter high Tianzhen Tower at the south bank of the Zhujiang River. The whole landscape of Zhujiang River changes tremendously in the past 10 years. So we may expect similar urban development in Hangzhou in the upcoming years. That will be very exciting for the urban development of the whole country.
Yes, true, because I'm from Guangdong, and I've been to the venue that you mentioned in Guangzhou. It's just really amazing. I can see many people, apart from like doing exercise there, many people may just walk there after dinner to enjoy the beautiful view. It's just really amazing. And also, like Mr. Lee, you are in Hangzhou, right? Like Haixiang's videos shows, there are many new types of venues there. They are doing all those like AI practicing basketballs. What are some new opportunities or new ways of doing sports that you have observed are ongoing in Hangzhou, Mr. Lee?
Okay, yeah, because I live in Hangzhou, so I can experience, you know, the differences happen in recent years. So firstly, I think because of if we talk about the commercial rights of a sports event, so there are different layers of business partners. You know, the bottom is the licensee like us, and then the sponsors. But there are a kind of stakeholder above the sponsor is hosting. For this time, the Asian Game is Hangzhou. So for the hosting city, the purpose is either to promote the city, you know, to the international, to overseas, also leverage the opportunity to enhance the city's infrastructure. So I can, you know, I can know, you know, like the metro lines in Hangzhou growing very fast these years. And also the expressway, including circleways, are also connected, just like Shanghai and Beijing. But these are really so good, convenient for the local people. So besides this, also, you know, in Hangzhou is not so famous in overseas. So when people ask me where are you from, I'm Hangzhou. So just I will say, oh, a city near Shanghai, like this. And also sometimes I even told them, Hangzhou is the city that Alibaba Group, the headquarters located, because Alibaba sometimes is more famous than Hangzhou. But I definitely not. I'm sure, I believe after the Asian Games, Hangzhou will be more famous in overseas, for people. So for me also, I'm here, I'm in London now, so I participate the brand licensing Europe. So when I invite people, so some people from the premium club or sports organization, they really would like to visit Hangzhou. This is also new for me. So I think, yeah, quite interesting and quite good.
Yes, next time you can say like Hangzhou, where the Asian Games was held last year, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and also after all these upgraded venues are being hosted for the games, and after the use of that, what normally would they be put into use after the games to further benefit the local
besides
people?
Besides the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what we call the legacy of the games, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have seen a lot of this kind of a wonderful tangible heritage there, but actually there's a lot of intangible part. For example, the Asian Game, or their committee last year, they have this sort of a very interesting project called the virtual torch barrier, right? With everyone can have their unique digital identity of a real user, but in the digital Asian Game world.
Wow. Do you just use your phone or your laptop?
Yeah, something like that. Very easy to get to that, but you are unique. You have unique character in the digital world.
Wow.
Imagine how many people participate. More than 100 million.
Wow.
So
is it from Hangzhou or all over the world?
But this is actually a very smart way to sort of make a much wider audience aware of, like this digital kind of a game are actually fully arrived. It's part of the Asian Games, but the impact on the people are through all kind of aspects. Not only you see the tangible, smart venue like that, but also all kinds of digital, impression as well.
Yeah,
and if I may add, from the sports industry, we always see the need for the talent in this industry.
Yeah.
And for a large-scale sports event like this, one of the very important heritage is we have train up a team of talent.
Yeah.
And they are not only serving this game itself, but actually they will be very important workforce for the development of the industry or for the ecosystem.
Yes,
and
true.
that's actually very, very important.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I look at the data like from 2016 to 2020 during the preparation for the Asian Games, it also recruited many people. It accounted for like about 2% to 3% of the total employment in the city. So like you said, it's just really a large amount of people, and also many talents can be trained there.
Yeah, and actually, I'm very glad to see, the news, I think a couple of days ago, right? The Hangzhou government sent some memorandum of cooperation with various, international sports organizations, basically aiming to bring more top-level sports events into Hangzhou.
Wow.
That's kind of I think that's really on the right track, right?
Yes.
Because continuously kind of introducing and hosting this kind of top-level sports event, it actually will help to achieve a sustainable and economic development of the industry as well as the event, right? Because if you spend the money in one go, right, it's difficult to balancing the numbers, right? Although you have different way to record the ledger, but we definitely want to see the investment is for the long run, and with the impact, tangible and intangible for the city, even wider territory economy, as well as for this whole sports industry in China, with a much long-term sort of impact and benefits.
Yes. Dian, do you have anything to add?
I just need to mention that when we compare the Hangzhou Asia Game with another one, is a good case study in London Olympic. It's quite similar. I want to give an example, like in London Olympic, when they would like to build a new sports area, focus on the O2 arena, they use like 20 or 30,000 the local people to be the temporary workers or something, to help them to build, to operate the sports area for the Olympic. After that, after the Olympic, they become the formal workers and the employees in that area. So it means that they solve the job vacancy, and then to ease the social tense. So from the city. So I think it's quite similar. Like the Hangzhou Patrick said, it's quite the same. Then we can just give them the society, more job, and then to when you already create a amazing event, a venue, and then stadium and area, then you got the workforce, and then you got the demand from the people, from the citizens. That will be a very good ecosystem that can help the Hangzhou to develop their sports industry. And I think it's a win-win situation.
Yes, not just for the games, but also for the whole industry.
Yeah, if you can see the long term.
Yes. And Mr. Lee, because you will participate in many projects with the Hangzhou Asian Games. So through your observation, what's the changes? Like after the games, what have you left for those intangible or tangible cultural heritages?
I think, before the Asian game, Hangzhou is more famous. I will always make a joke with people in sports industry. Hangzhou is not a sportive city because when you have sports games, the stadium are empty, not so full. But when you have like singles, or the ticket is out of stock very quick. But now you can see that for the Asian Games, the tickets are so difficult to buy, and the most of the games are full of audience. Okay, this is I think very important because from conception and the habits, the Hangzhou local people will be increased. So this will, how to say, for parents maybe they will prefer to their kids to doing more sports than academic training something than before. So this is very helpful. Also, I think after the Asian Games, because we have so many stadium people teams, so I think there will be more tournaments, games will be held in the city. Actually, we are also discussing something, to bring some high-level tournaments into Hangzhou. So Asian Game, is amazing. I think it's so helpful for Hangzhou.
Yes. Yeah, so like looking forward with the investment and the retail spending rebounding, so what are some new opportunities do you guys foresee for in the Chinese sports market? Maybe from Patrick, like what sector would the investors most interested in?
Yeah.
Right. Actually, there's a lot of interest fundings in our recent global sports industry survey. There's one question about to find out what the institutional investors are most interested. In China, the feedback is esports companies.
Oh,
and if you remember,
very interesting.
Yeah, if you remember, esports is actually made its debut as an official competition in the Hangzhou Asian Games.
Yeah.
Right. So actually, if you already know that China has surpassed North America to be the biggest esports market already. So it's actually this is one of the very unique but actually advanced development in China. Yeah. Even some in a way kind of ahead of the world. Yeah. So it's and one more thing is for the game is also I think it's a very important message because conveyed from the game is it's going to a greener kind of event, right? Because Hangzhou Asian Game is also the first ever carbon neutral kind of event in the history, right? We all know, like Paris in the next Olympic they are trying to have the carbon neutral, but actually we achieved earlier than them, right? And this is actually very very kind of important heritage, I should say. Within the game, right? You know, the committee made a lot of effort to engage the public, and also managed to achieve, like, you know, the construction, the transportation, the energy resource, minimize the waste, all that sort of thing to reach a carbon neutral status. And, you know, engaging the public, bring them on the road to this, it not only for the game, but also it actually a great legacy to promote the greener or ESG concept in the development of the city going forward.
Yes.
So this is you know, again, it attracts a lot of investment.
Yeah.
But this is the investment really for the sustainable urban transformation, and as well as, you know, development in the sports industry as well.
Yes, that's also with the help of the high-tech sector, because it is also the first cloud-based Asian Games, right? You can see even like many cute robots are dancing in the basketball courts, in the football fields. Yeah, so all these are very emerging sectors. And what about you, Dian? What are your observations?
Because I listened to Patrick's answer, because he's quite familiar with the answer, because I probably I know the reason why, because, you know, the PwC did the sport industry report annually. So, you know, I think you know, a lot of people will ask Patrick this question.
We got the official answer.
So that's, I think Patrick's look at it, the answer comes from the macro aspect. But for me, so I probably to see the opportunity from the micro aspect, because I think right now the Chinese sports industry is backing to the very rational, reasonable track for development. But probably we can find every opportunity on every phase during the industrial chain. So maybe production, maybe manufacturing, maybe the media and broadcasting as well, maybe the sports event operations, sports marketing, consulting. But only one keyword that we need to remember is the consuming behavior. So every opportunity comes from consuming behavior. Then consuming behavior comes from the people, from the consumers in sports. So that's the reason. So because why we say that? Because I think that consuming behavior is the driven force. So before that, we always say that the China sports industry facing the opportunity because the policy, because the capital, the investment have interest into this area. But if you will see the long term, you need to be sustainable. That need to be the people who like to pay, maybe spend money, maybe spend time, maybe spend attention to this area. So after that, we got a very, you know, active market, so that we can say we got different opportunity in different areas. So, but you know, the keyword is consuming behavior.
Yeah, when we talk about consumer behaviors, what are some new trends going on that you have observed?
We can see that, I just mentioned, as some kind of a new niche sports, like frisbee, like esports as well, kickball as well. It's always you can find some kind of a new sports or active in during our friends or our social networking. So I think it's very interesting. So every sports, every active have their own market, own fan base. It's great because China is so big. We got a huge population, so we can accept any sports development. So it's not a relationship with competing. It's about all together. It's all. If people would like to spend the time and money into sports, that's the good news.
Yes.
Yeah. So when you mentioned consumption, when you mentioned niche sports, we can't miss Gen Z. Like Generation Z, how would you say the Gen Z will play a role in the future in the sports industry?
I think it is maybe the cruel consumers. Maybe it's because I think sports for them is a little bit different. Maybe for us, it's just a way to relax, to enjoy. And then for them, I think it's another meaning for because they treat sports as a way to express their personality, their
also to
attitude.
Socialize,
Maybe they are maybe some kind of sports mania, but they are also like music, pop music, maybe coffee, craft beer, something like that. So I think it gives you a the bigger picture, and then you have a a better market to dig in to find a business opportunity. So I think it's already beyond the sports.
Yeah.
It's all about culture for the Gen Z, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Mr. Lee, you have any other things to add to Gen Z, like exchanging pins, some phenomena like that?
Okay. Changing pins is a kind of, how to say, because the tournaments supply a physical place, people gathering. Firstly, people show the pins or the merchandise online. Okay, this kind of social, but the tournaments, the event, they have physical gathering, so they start to exchange. This I think it's an extension of social, and then regarding to the consuming behavior, I also one word to say, because I feel very good for the current situation, because the young generations, as long as they want to buy something for the IP or for the property they are following, they prefer buying official ones. Otherwise, they just don't buy. But they don't never buy fake products. So this is so good for the future business. I mean, for the licensed products for the industry, I think, and also it will help to broadcast the culture related with the events, the tournaments. Yeah, so it's so good.
Okay, so Mr. Luo, you have any other areas or want to add to the new opportunities you foresee in the Chinese sports market?
Sure. Personally, I would like to focus on the next step development of campus sports. Just now, all you guys talk about e-sport and all kinds of reshape sports, which all focus on the youth generation. And when we talk about youth generation, we can understand that they are the next generation of consumers in most of the business areas, not only in the sports industry, but all kinds of markets, all kinds of industries. So for the sustainable development of the sports market, how can we push the next generation to get into the habit of doing sports or watching sports, so that we can make them become the sports consumers? It is very important for the campus sports to teach them to enjoy sports. So I guess after the Asian Games, we have to wait and see how the development of the campus sports in Hangzhou going. And also, we have to come up with a full-scale strategy to develop campus sports all over the country. I guess when we talk about the new opportunities, we are mainly talking about the new generation are attracted to the sports, so they become larger groups of consumers. So if we want to make new opportunities, we have to make the next generation become the new customers.
Yeah, we really expect more and more people can enjoy sports after the games. And how many of you have been in the Asian Games in Hangzhou? Are you all there?
Personally, not myself.
Oh, okay. What about you?
Not me.
Probably Mr. Lee have been there, right? Mr. Lee, what is if you tell us what's your most impressive or touching stories that you have during the Asian Games, what would you say?
Sorry about.
Mr. Lee?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've been in the games, right? If you share with us one of your most touching stories during the games, what would you say?
Unfortunately, I'm not here again.
Oh, you had not too. Oh, what about Mr. Luo?
Not to me. Not to me. It's so hard.
Either. I guess Haixiang is the only one in there.
So
yeah, before we go.
Not the moment, but I want you guys to share with us one of your most impressive memories.
Yeah, or maybe like watching the games, what really touches you? Or maybe Haixiang, you can share first, because you've been in Hangzhou, right?
First of all, I mean, the most impressive for me is the merchandise sales. I mean, there are always a long queue before a merchandise official merchandise store. Like the stock. I mean, Mr. Lee must be familiar with the stock. could you talk more about the stock of your pins right now?
Out of stock.
Out of stock.
Almost all pins are out of stock. Okay, but I can you give one news. Okay, our last pin is the pin about the numbers we call the victory, because 3 mascots. Then we have 3 numbers for gold, silver, and bronze medal numbers. So this item is now. Because I'm also in another WeChat group. We are talking about how to list it on Tmall shop. It is now, so maybe this is the last chance. You buy last fee. Okay.
Have you kept one for yourself?
I will acquire them as soon as I log off.
Now, yes.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for sharing all of these very insightful views. And we really want to discuss more about how time flies. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you again. That was Biwei Duo, partner of sports industry at PwC, and Chen Diandian, founder of EcoSports, and also our online guest, Li Hong, managing director of Hangzhou K-Ford, and Luo Renfeng, vice president of marketing of Sports Money. And we see how the Hangzhou Games is not just a sports event, but also a great platform for cultural and economic exchanges, and has really benefited many other industries. So we are just very looking forward to the Asian Games next year.
Definitely.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.